I just want to jump into InsiderViz first of all.
Mhm.
So let me pull it up right here. So insider trading insights.
Hmm.
This might just be me, but on face value, that sounds illegal. But yeah. What's why did you start Insider Viz? Why didn't you start like a GPT-1 LLM wrapper type thing? What inspired you to start this?
Because one of my friends was doing some stock market stuff and he wanted this data. SEC data, all of the data that you see on InsiderViz, like if you go to our company screener and you click on a company or something and you see a full list of their insider trades, all that data is already public. Whenever a company, an insider, quote unquote, in a company, and that it's a pretty wide definition, be it from a CEO, a board member, or any 10% share owner, has to publicly report any trades they make to the SEC, and those are cataloged as Form 4s from their website. But the SEC website and their systems for displaying out and filtering through all that is god awful. So we ended up building a much better solution for viewing and working with this data. And that's basically what you see here. You have like this nice graph to see, okay, when are they trading? How much are they trading? You have a full list of everything in there. It very much started off just as like a, hey, we kind of want this, so let's make it type thing, which is oftentimes the best way to build something like this. And this project has admittedly kind of gone into maintenance mode lately. A lot of the reason for that is just because we've all kind of gotten to the point where we just realized we're not finance guys. I'm much more of a tech guy, and to take Insider Viz and what we're doing there to the next level, it basically just means we need to tackle annual and quarterly reports. We need to pull AI insights out of those. We need to figure out good ways to visualize those, put those in a newsletter, put it behind a subscription, and grow that up. But I and the guys I was working with just don't really want to do that, admittedly. So we've kind of moved on, but it was a very good project. We made a decent amount of money out. Well, not a decent, but like for a little SaaS type thing for college kids who have no idea what the hell they're doing, it did pretty well. I think we ended up in total having about like 50 or 60 paying customers, made, I think, like $2,000 or $3,000 off of it. It's not a horrible thing. And I'm very happy with the actual product and tech we used to build this.
Nice. Yeah. No, those numbers aren't bad at all. And you said that was that junior year of college.
Started junior year of
Started junior
college,
year of college.
got a lot better what would have been my senior year, but I was working at an app agency instead of taking classes because I got kind of bored with classes and wanted to make some money. But yeah, it's been quite a project.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot because that's where I'm at right now. I'm currently a second semester junior right now,
Mm.
and it's really hard because all of my classes are online,
Hmm.
Zoom, non-attendance required. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
could go, or I could just keep pushing and make like $400, just
real.
like in the same amount of time. But anyways, no, yeah, I definitely agree with the maintenance mode because there's a lot of stuff going on. You're just looking at
Yeah,
the page.
it was a very heavy project. There's a lot more to this than you just see on the website. The website itself is a SvelteKit app. We use D3 for all the visualizations. They are all custom built. So like that graph right there, we custom wrote that whole thing to get the bubbles on there and the hovers and all that stuff. That was a ton of work. And then the back end is right now we're just serving all the data from a SvelteKit API just within the app itself. But the way we're actually getting that data is a pretty complex crawler because the SEC has so many weird constraints you have to work with to actually get the data. Very, very, very heavy rate limits, very annoying and obnoxious to work with APIs. It was not an easy problem to solve at all.
I was going to say working with D3 is a rather complicated process, and rolling your own charts, quite a bold decision, I have to say. Did
Yeah,
you decide that that's the only way? Like, there's nothing out there that can support your use case?
for us, one of our core value props was our charts. Like just the fact that you can go to Tesla's stock graph and you can just see all of the insider trades on there. That's our value prop. Like that's what's unique and cool about Insider Viz. And in order to make that really good, you have to custom build it. Like I would not recommend using D3 to custom build your internal analytics tools. That makes no sense. If you just need to see a basic line graph, just use one of the bajillions of chart libraries out there. Who the hell cares? But when your entire company's value prop is your visualizations, they need to be beyond the level you can get from an out-of-the-box library, which means you have to make them custom, which means you use the best solution that exists, which is D3.
That makes sense. I had a very complicated experience making it work nicely with our TypeScript code base. I'm curious if you had any trouble there.
Um, Getting types to work on D3 is admittedly kind of annoying. I will not lie. There are a lot of just like any's and many STFU TypeScript comments within the project. We very much ejected out of it a lot of the time just to make it work. If we were going to keep maintaining it, we would definitely clean it up and make the types a lot better. But for what it ended up being, D3, I think, gets a reputation for being really, really complex, and to me, it's one of those things where it just has a really high bar of entry. Once you get what's going on, and once you get the manipulation of DOM nodes and creating these different paths and how it all works, because they are just SVGs under the hood, it's very manageable and doable. It's just that for a lot of technologies like React, you can get going and useful in React within like an hour or so if you're already a developer and you already have some experience with the web. It's not particularly complex. And especially if you've done another technology, like Svelte's a good example. If you're a competent React developer, picking up Svelte or Vue will take you a matter of 1 or 2 hours at most. It's not that hard to get proficient with it. With D3, there's a much higher ceiling, there's a much higher floor that you need to hit before you can even be productive with it. And I think that's why a lot of people shy away from it.
Just looking at the
Yeah.
docs, it kind of seems like it's a similar learning curve from going from like standard simple jQuery like 3D visualizations to going to like 3.js. Like just on the docs alone, I went ahead and put up the docs. Just the amount of sidebar tabs that then expand into more tabs. It's it looks like a challenge. So that's really cool that you are able to implement those custom. And they haven't broke yet, too, that I know of.
No, that's one of the things that's kind of a miracle for InsiderViz. We haven't pushed any new code to that site in months, and it's still running. New data is in there. The latest SEC trades are in there. It's still just kind of chugging along, which is a miracle, or maybe we're secretly competent. I'm not really sure, but it does seem to work pretty well. I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Just don't touch it. That's
real.
Just don't touch it.
That's where we are. We were talking. Depending on what happens this year and what we end up doing, if we might end up just like open sourcing the whole thing and doing some stuff there, there's a lot of cool content I could make on InsiderViz and the stuff we built there. I think there are a lot of cool stories to tell in that. So that might happen at some point, but for right now, it's fine how it is, and I don't want to touch it. It's not a priority.
Right. No, yeah. I feel like, honestly, the best, not exit strategy, but I feel like the best way that it could kind of end is like someone, like a small financial company were to buy it out and sort of adopt it. I feel like that'd be the best sort of course of action. But
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we could dream. Well, if hypothetically, if you could, would you want them to just completely acquire it and buy it off of you so you wouldn't have to manage it, or would you want like a part still in it?
No, I mean, that's where we are now. Like, it's very much, I would love to just, if there's someone who wanted to take it and run with it, I think that there's a core there that is worth running with. We're just not the ones to do it. And if there's someone who wanted to do that, that would be awesome. The long-term dream on this when we were still working on it was very much like, okay, we either get folded and acquired into like a Bloomberg, or we just, the long-term like crazy VC play on that is replacing Bloomberg. Those are kind of the two options. But, obviously that didn't end up happening, and that's totally fine. But yeah, just a nice little small acquisition would be nice there for sure.
Yeah, I agree.